rivalries built on talent. There are rivalries built on competition. And then there are rivalries built on destiny. Two players, two eras, two legacies, each rewriting the rules of basketball in their own way. One through skill and grace, the other through power and brilliance. This is the story of the day prime Stephen Curry met prime LeBron James, a collision of forces that reshaped the NBA and changed the sport forever. To understand how we got there, we must go back to where each legend's fire was born. LeBron James entered the league with expectations larger than life. A high school kid, barely 18, but already labeled the chosen one. A once-in-a-generation athlete with size, speed, power, and vision unlike anything we'd ever seen. He didn't join the NBA, he took possession of it. On the other side of the story was a player doubted from the moment he stepped foot into the league, Stephen Curry. Too small, too skinny, too fragile. A kid with a jump shot, nothing more, they said. But what they didn't understand was that Curry possessed a gift the league had never seen, an ability so unique it would eventually force teams to redesign how basketball is played. Two rising stars, two different paths, but destiny was slowly pulling them toward each other. Before their worlds collided, the NBA belonged to giants: Duncan, Kobe, Shaq, Garnett, Dirk. But the moment Curry found his rhythm and LeBron found his purpose, the league entered a new age. Prime LeBron was an unstoppable force, 6'8", explosive, a locomotive in transition, a genius in half-court offense, a defender capable of guarding all 5 positions, a leader who carried entire franchises on his shoulders. Prime Steph was something else, a magician with the ball, a flamethrower from deep, a player who could destroy defensive schemes with a single dribble, forcing teams to guard him 30 feet from the basket. LeBron broke the rules of physics. Steph broke the rules of basketball. They weren't just superstars, they were revolutions. And then in 2015, the collision finally happened. The Warriors, young, hungry, electrifying. The Cavaliers, wounded, but led by a king with a mission. Steph versus LeBron, prime versus prime, an unstoppable shooter versus an unstoppable force. This matchup wasn't just a final series, it was a battle between philosophies, identities, and eras. Game 1 set the tone. LeBron attacked relentlessly, posting up smaller defenders, playing bully ball, manipulating every mismatch. Steph countered with range, movement, misdirection, turning every screen into a weapon. The basketball world watched in awe. Never before had 2 players dictated the flow of a game in such opposite yet equally dominant ways. In 2015, injuries robbed the Cavaliers of key pieces, but LeBron refused to break. In one of his greatest playoff performances ever, he willed the series to 6 games, nearly defeating an entire dynasty by himself. And while Steph held the trophy that year, LeBron left a message behind: "I'm not done yet." The collision wasn't over, it was only beginning. The following season, both players reached their true peaks. Stephen Curry, the first ever unanimous MVP, a player whose three-pointers became myth, hitting shots from distances that looked impossible. He shattered records, expectations, and even logic. LeBron that season was a mastermind, sculpting his game into something even sharper. Still dominant, still unstoppable,
but now playing with a deeper understanding of when to strike and when to control. And then came the day that will never be forgotten, Game 7 of the 2016 NBA Finals. Prime Steph, prime LeBron, the greatest regular season team ever versus the greatest comeback the NBA had ever seen. All roads led here. From the opening tip, you could feel the tension. LeBron came out attacking, mid-range, post-ups, chase-down defense, playmaking. Steph countered with deep threes, quick dribble attacks, off-ball movement, and gravity that bent the entire Cavaliers' defense. It was a duel of philosophies, the game built on power versus the game built on finesse. Each possession felt like history unfolding. Every shot, every steal, every block carried the weight of two legacies. But legends are not made in the easy moments. They are made when everything collapses, when exhaustion hits, when the world is watching. In the fourth quarter, both teams were exhausted. Steph missed shots he normally made. LeBron pushed through fatigue with pure will. Kyrie burned through screens. Draymond kept the Warriors alive. Crowds held their breath. And then came the defining sequence. Andre Iguodala breaks out on the fast break. Layup, almost guaranteed. But then, from the heavens, LeBron James, the greatest chase-down block the game has ever seen. A moment of pure athletic mythology. But the duel wasn't over. Steph tried to retaliate, weaving through defenders, but Kevin Love, a man many counted out, locked on to him, forcing a desperate off-balance shot. Defense, heart, destiny. And then came Kyrie Irving's cold-blooded dagger, a shot that froze time. But make no mistake, this was Steph versus LeBron, prime versus prime, a rivalry that defined a generation. Even after 2016, the fire continued. In 2017 and 2018, the Warriors evolved into a super team. Kevin Durant joined. Steph became the engine of the most talented offensive machine in NBA history. LeBron countered with one of the greatest individual playoff runs ever. They battled again, not with equal rosters, but with equal greatness. Each time Steph hit a three from 30 feet, each time LeBron delivered a monstrous dunk or impossible pass, a new chapter was written in their rivalry. It wasn't hatred, it was respect, a mutual recognition that each pushed the other toward heights they could never reach alone. Prime Steph forced LeBron to evolve defensively, to extend his range, to adapt to a three-point revolution. Prime LeBron forced Steph to become tougher, stronger mentally, more precise under pressure. They sharpened each other. That is what legends do. By the time 2020 arrived, the rivalry shifted. New teams, new teammates, new roles. But the gravity remained. When LeBron won with the Lakers, Steph watched. When Steph returned with his resurgence in 2021, LeBron watched. They were no longer just rivals, they were pillars of an era. Two forces shaping a decade of basketball. Two philosophies redefining how the game is played. Two superstars whose greatness will echo for generations. The day prime Steph met prime LeBron, basketball changed. The league evolved, players adapted, teams rebuilt their identities. The sport entered a new age, defined by shooting, spacing, athleticism, skill, and intelligence. Their rivalry wasn't about hatred, it was about elevation. It was about two icons pushing basketball forward. In the end, the question isn't who is better. The question is, would either have become this great without the other standing in his way. This is the story of prime Steph and prime LeBron, a story of two titans, two revolutions, two legacies intertwined forever. Their rivalry didn't divide basketball, it united it into an era of brilliant chaos, breathtaking skill, and unforgettable moments. And long after both legends retire, one truth remains: basketball will never be the same.